Welcome to the Love Your Body podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Crane Fitness Equipment. They are a company that's a local family owned fitness equipment company established in February of 2016. They are veteran owned, actually. They're so cool because I'm going to announce something big on this podcast today, so stay tuned for that. But they are just like the sweetest people, and they have been following my journey for a while. And I'm just super excited to be working with them and collabing. And they are sponsoring the podcast. So it's super exciting to have them on. And yeah, if you haven't, go check them out at cranefitnessequipment.com, as well on Instagram at Crane Fitness Equipment. But yeah, they're actually. I come to find out after in talking about this thing that I'm going to announce to you guys, so I'm super pumped for today. When talking with them, I didn't realize they actually housed all the equipment at Praxis Strength, the place where I did strongman at for so long. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it got me thinking about today's topic of kind of this like full circle moment in just like everything. So, when you're looking at I feel like just life in general. And a lot of times right now, we're like, man, it's super overwhelming. We have things coming up. Maybe you're like getting ready for spring break. Maybe you're getting, you're just like trying to get to this moment of like where you can breathe, right? Like vacation or whatever it is. Then you're like, I just need some positive things to, look forward to. And, what's been really special is I have been sitting around thinking about it and being like, okay, I can either sit here and dwell in the negative or, with being kind of frustrated of like, okay, prep and all the things expected of me and all these different, just being pulled a million different ways, right? And I was like, or I can turn the negative into a positive and start getting creative with this, right? Because again, our ceilings sometimes we feel like are just right above us, but it's not. There is no ceiling to this, like to your life. Like if you're listening right now and you're like, like I'm just right here. I can't get past it. I can't get past it. Like you can break through that ceiling. It just takes putting one step in front of the other. So, my secret surprise that I'm so excited to announce, which is so wild. I feel like my clients listening are like, okay, we know, but they're excited about it too. So Crane Fitness is actually going to be sponsoring my shed in my backyard. And you're like, whoa, Dani, you got a shed? I do have a shed and it's going to be so cool. So the thing is like, so it's just the shed that came with the house, right? Okay, it's not that big. But I hired the contractor that helped me with my with all my stuff with a house, whatever, and he has been weatherproofing it, like getting it nice, whatever. If you've watched on my Instagram, you saw like we were carrying stuff out of it, all that stuff. Okay, so I literally said that I like manifested. I was like, okay, I really don't want to like, pay for like the rubber flooring, that's like really nice gym flooring. I gotta find something, whatever, all this stuff. And I was like, and I could use like a squat rack, but then like, I don't know, I could just do it at the gym, whatever. But I've had a lot of resentment that I've been having because I've been having to get up every morning at like 3:45 in the morning to get to the gym to do the stairs, to do my workout, but like I got to eat in between, got to do my supplements in between, then to shower, then to train all day long, right? So again, it's a regimen's routine. I choose this, and this is a lifestyle that I love and that I choose, right? But I'm like, how can we make this more efficient? So I had noticed that Crane Fitness had been like looking at my stuff and whatever. And we follow each other on Instagram. And I'm like, they're going to be at the expo, which if you guys know, I did the Music Fit Expo last year, did Move Fit there, helped plan that event. Well, I'm a gold sponsor this year. Super pumped up about that. Some cool surprises with that as well. But you can get tickets, link here in my bio on my Instagram for that. But basically, I was like, oh, I connected and I reached out to, I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm getting the shed in order for like be able to do workouts, stuff like that. I am looking for, rubberized floor. I'm looking for like a barbell, like different things like this, right? Just reached out to them. They're like, Dani, we've been watching you. We love what you do. Like, we love your mission. And they were so supportive and so cool. And they were just like, yeah, we would love to collab with you. And I was like, yes. And so it was so cool. And I'm just like, man, you look back at it and it's like, if you don't ask for what you want and if you don't put it out there that like, that's going to happen. Like, it will never happen. Like, the answer will always be no. And I've said that time and time again on this podcast. You literally have to set the intention and just go for it. So anyway, so they're going to do that, which is super sick, right? Well, for those of you also that know, I do stairs for my choice of cardio. Again, I'm guys, when you're looking at like cardio equipment and stuff, yeah, every different piece serves a different purpose. Okay, for me with my injury and everything like that, the stairs is just what is the best caloric burn and the best like bang for my buck, essentially. Okay, so I love a good stairmaster. Well, they're hard to come by. Okay. They're hard to come by. So I have been like asking people, looking on eBay, Amazon, all these things, right? I'm just like, reach out to Dick's Sporting Goods and all these like different places, Academy. And nobody could get me like, oh, we got like a stair stepper. I'm like, no, 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 I want a full blown Stairmaster. So I start thinking and I'm like, okay, let's think. And so this time my brain works. I'm like, where could I have like connected with someone that could get me a Stairmaster? So I thought about, okay, the Music City Fit Expo, which is also another event that you guys should definitely check out. That'll be happening in October. And I'll be partnering with them as well. But I was a guest speaker. This was my first paid speaking engagement. And I did a whole talk on there and about loving your body throughout and everything like that. And it was super cool. So basically connected with them and was like, hey, and then I remember that I connected with someone that had like a equipment, equipment company as well. And anyway, and so basically I was like, what can I connect with them? How can we, vibe or whatever? So I sent out sent an email, and it was with a core and health and fitness, and basically talked to my guy Tony over there, and we connected, and he was like, we would love to sponsor a Stairmaster. And so basically we worked out a deal and collab or whatever to do that. And so no, I'm not getting a free Stairmaster, but it is a great deal. So I'm very excited about that. And I know everybody's going to be super jealous looking at that. So if you are wanting a Stairmaster and after you see my cool one in my shed, please feel free to let me know and I will connect you with him. But yeah, so it's just like, again, it's super exciting. So it's like all the things that I needed or wanted, I asked for, and that was provided. But again, none of that would have happened, right? If I would not have stepped out of my comfort zone. For example, I had a sty on my eye. I know y'all probably heard me talk about this a million times, but when my eye blew up and like I couldn't see out of it, that was when I had that speaking engagement at the Music City Fit Expo, and I almost canceled. Okay. I almost was like, no, I just can't. But again, because I was like, truthfully, if there was ever a love your body moment, that was the time. I was literally giving a presentation on loving your body throughout with my eye closed. Like I can't see out of it, and like I just did not, it was just like not the best situation. And I never had one before. And I just felt, if you ever had one, you just felt miserable. You don't feel good, whatever. But I threw on a nice outfit. I had Logan from Cinnamon A3 and I had my girl with Empowerography Files, Amber, who came out and she they took pictures, videos, all that and stuff for me or whatever. So it was a whole like event day, and I was like, you got to show up for this. Like there's people counting on you, whatever. And I met a lot of people and it was really special, but truthfully, like I just did not want to be there. But again, it goes to show you I would not have made that contact. I would not have had that to be able to talk with him about like getting a Stairmaster in there. And again, I feel like these are great partnerships that are going to be like launching a lot of things moving forward. So, which is super cool. So again, it was just like, that was something I didn't want to show up to, but I did. And if there's anything that you are like battling with right now that you're just like, no, I just don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I don't have the whatever, but there's something in you that's saying like, no, I really should go to it. I know it's hard. I know it's exhausting. But if you can, if it's not detrimental to your mental health, like show up for those things because they're just beautiful moments that like you can make the most of, I really do think. I don't think there's any like bad situations or like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of going to, whether it's an office work party, like a trainer party, like, whatever, a conference, there's always something you can learn from or someone you can meet. And that is what's beautiful about the whole journey and the experience, I think, of Dani D Fitness is the connections and the community and the support. And like, I will just tell you, I'm just super positive here today on because again, I just felt so loved in all of this, from like the contractor working on my shed, from my parents with their help of, just like helping me run around crazy with stuff, from Fight, being like, I'm getting different states that I never shipped to before. And that's been so cool. So I know that, people are listening to this, people are taking in from Instagram, the YouTube, whatever, and are seeing the value in what I'm trying to do. And really what it is trying to make things easier for you guys. Like with having your energy booster, with having positive, videos to help you keep you going in the gym. Like, with my online programs and helping people, like they're seeing significant changes. And that has been super cool. And I really love that hybrid of working like virtual training or in-person training with the online programming. And that's what I do for my personal fitness, and it works, really well. And so it's just been a beautiful, full circle moments, just one time and time again. But I do believe that you have to be open to all of these experiences as well. And, it was just, it's been so cool. So for me, I'm actually headed out today to go to the Arnold. So I'm going to be going there. And that's something that I talked about before on podcasts, about like bucket list and putting yourself first, and really trying to make the most of your time and have balance, right? So with all of that, I was like, you know what? I could make this work. It's going to be intense to like drive up there to Ohio and everything and come back. But I have my friends that are going to be there, and it's going to be super special because the Arnold, if you guys didn't know, is in Columbus, Ohio. So it's at the convention center up there. And there are, tons of vendors. I think like thousands of people go to this event, right? And it's just been like, an iconic staple for bodybuilding, strongman. When I did strongman competitions, like, I wanted to be on that stage, and I worked really hard for that to get there, and it just didn't happen, and I got injured. So it is again a full circle moment where I'm very excited to go in there with a different approach and a different mindset, because that was something that, seriously, I remember sitting crying on the bathroom floor in I don't even know when it was in Iowa, after a strongman nationals, because I didn't make it to the Arnold. And I was just like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I was so depressed. And that was such a, I had, I was drinking that night. I was crying. I was just so sad. And, I had, suicidal, like, ideations, like all of these things. And, it took one person, that at the time, was very close to me, just being like, hey, it's okay. There's always another day. You know what I mean? There's always you have enough time. Like, it'll be okay. And something in me knew that like I was going to get injured or my body was going to give out or something like that. I just had this weird feeling, this intuition. And I never talked about it, but it definitely happened, a few months later at that next competition. But it's something like I was like, I knew that was my last chance to get to the Arnold in strongman. And I think that's why it hit me so hard. And I was like, I've lost. I am at my lowest. Like, what am I doing? Right. And it just felt like I would never be enough. And that was such a sad moment. Right. And so for me, like getting to now this point of going through injury, like overcoming so much and adapting, right? And finding ways to work and finding ways to like move through this journey in a different way and in bodybuilding, and get to do that. It just brings it back like so much, like I said, like, so, like to that full circle moment of I really am excited to go there and know that like the person I was 3 years ago, just where I got to be so competitive with myself and so I guess intense about everything, or I don't know if it's intense, maybe just like serious of like I am going to get there, like whatever, and try to push forward like that. It was not the right approach. And I think a lot of athletes deal with that, but a lot of people on their healthy lifestyle journey also deal with that, in the whole pursuit of I have to lose this amount of weight by this time, I have to do this, and then we get so focused and fixated on that negative, and we kind of use that negative intention, and that like finally, like if something happens that we push too hard and we don't get there, we try to get there too fast. It's like if we just take a beat, which I know me saying that's like whatever, but if we just take a beat and we're like, okay, you will get there, just put one foot in front of the other, that is like the consistency and hard work that's going to show up, and it's going to get you where you want to go. So I truthfully, like, I know it feels longer and it feels overwhelming, whatever like that. But like now for me to get to go, I'm hoping that I can stand there and take it all in and just be like, man, you know, that that's something that I wanted so badly. It wasn't a part of my plan, my journey that was meant for me. So now I get to go in a totally different body and a totally different mindset and a totally different way. See these amazing strongman competitors, see these bodybuilders, look at everybody, and look at it from a business standpoint, and yeah, and then go from there. And so I'm really excited. I'm gonna be up with my wellness friends or anything like that. But again, this is something where I'm kind of like resistant to it. I'm like, oh, the weather's not gonna be that great. Like I don't really want to do that 6 or 7 hour drive by myself, But there's something telling me. So there's that gut feeling of like, you need to show up for this. Like, you've told yourself time and time again that you're gonna, check this off the bucket list. Like, you're gonna go for yourself and you're gonna, be there to take it all in and see how this amazing event that's been going on for years operates. So I am excited about that, and going to do everything to put the proper steps in place so that I got everything done. Or actually, I already did that. I did my online programs for clients, got my workouts in, like, and it was a lot. But we're here, and I'm gonna show up and show out, and it's gonna be great, and I can't wait. And just get to go celebrate being with friends, and in the fitness industry and everything like that. And I can't think of a more motivating thing. 23 weeks out from the show, because like I said, it really comes down to that balance of everything. And I was on another podcast actually, and if you guys watched on the Relentless Pursuit podcast, like, and when we talked about that, and the host said to me, he was like, if you look back at life, like, are you just going to remember being just a brand, or are you going to remember being, Danielle? Like, are you gonna remember like living your life and all of those things, and getting to do those special things? So it's gonna be really cool, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, huge believer, guys. Like I said, in manifestation, and believer in everything kind of coming back full circle. So if you feel like you missed out on an opportunity, you feel like you didn't make it, you're never going to be this or that, or whatever, right? I truly believe something will come back around if you keep staying focused and you are consistent and you keep up the hard work. Something maybe even better will come around, just in a different way, and that is okay. It does not have to be with like weight loss training. It doesn't have to be, let's get back into the same bathing suit that we were in when we were in our 20s, right? It's not about like getting back to things. It's about looking at it from a whole nother level and deciding, okay, I can be a whole new body and love that body, right? And be in a new bathing suit and it be just as equally, positive, beneficial, great, all the things, as if it was like that old bathing suit that maybe you've kept, around for 20 years or whatever, right? So anyway, but with all of that, I just want to say, if you guys are ever needing anything, ever wanting to reach out, like, feel free to message me. I've had a couple people do that here recently. Just to sit down to, have a consult to talk about like how to have the right mindset throughout this journey, like how to kind of navigate all of this. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of negatives that can come from weight loss and the stress of everything, or home ownership, or whatever it might be, like being a female entrepreneur, like all these different things. And so I just want to be there to be able to help as much as I can, in any facet. So if you are interested in any of that, you can always email me at Dani@DaniDFitness.com. You can reach out to me via Instagram, check out my YouTube. All my handles are Dani D Fitness, one and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and guys, too, another thing I was going to say is, we have a lot of surprises coming up, so stay tuned for that. Please, like, share, subscribe, all the things, to Love Your Body podcast. It really does, mean the world. And yeah, until next time.